If you watch horror movies, you know the feeling. You're sitting in the dark, gripping the armrest, yelling at the screen as a character makes a decision so foolish it guarantees their demise. We accept a certain contract with the genre. Someone has to investigate the bump in the night. Character made rational choices. The credits would roll in 5 minutes. But there is a line. There is a moment when a minor lapse in judgment crosses over into an abandonment of basic physics, of spatial awareness, and self-preservation. Chart breaks down the unforced error. The most agonizing deaths in horror are rarely caused by the brilliance of the villains. Instead, they happen because of three distinct categories of human error: curiosity, panic, and proximity. Analyzing these decisions shifts us from passive viewers into armchair psychologists, revealing how the human brain short-circuits when the pressure spikes. The first pillar is self-sabotaging curiosity. This is a cognitive blind spot where the desire for answers overrides the primal instinct to turn around and walk away. In Jeepers Creepers, Derry and Trish watch a truck driver dump a rolled-up corpse down a roadside pipe. After being run off the road by that same driver, Derry decides to crawl down into the pipe to investigate instead of driving to the nearest police station. This error escalates in Halloween Resurrection. Laurie Strode captures Michael Myers and traps him upside down on a rope. But instead of cutting that rope, she steps into his reach to unmask him, ignoring the fact that his hands are free. Sometimes this curiosity fails on an administrative level. At the end of Drag Me to Hell, Christine believes she has disposed of a cursed button. Because she fails to check the contents of her envelope, she hands off a quarter and keeps the curse in her pocket. The psychological need for closure ends up being far more lethal than the physical monsters hunting them. The second pillar is the fight or flight glitch. When adrenaline floods the system, it induces tunnel vision, blinding victims to immediate solutions. In I Know What You Did Last Summer, Helen is feet away from a marching band and a crowd of onlookers. Instead of closing that gap, she stops to look behind her, throwing away her escape. Scream illustrates this glitch through Tatum. Trapped in a garage, she fights off Ghostface and knocks him down. Surrounded by heavy tools and blunt objects, she ignores them and tries to squeeze through a mechanical pet door that is far too small. The Purge shows a collective version of this failure. A fortified safe room is abandoned, so the family members can wander individually through a dark, compromised house filled with murderers. These deaths demonstrate how panic turns an open door or a secure bunker into an inescapable trap. Blindness to the obvious occurs when characters ignore salvation physically within reach, marking a breakdown in basic problem-solving. This happens on a macro-strategic level in Jaws. Mayor Vaughn ignores the confirmed existence of a great white shark, choosing to protect summer tourism revenue over the lives of beachgoers. Using the delta of avoidability. In Saw 2, Addison's trap is inches from the key. In I Am Legend, Neville chooses suicide over taking 2 steps to safety. In Saw, Dr. Gordon severs his foot, never realizing his hacksaw could reach the phone. The delta of avoidability shows these tragedies are self-inflicted. The solution required 0 extra effort, just an application of common sense. These infamous moments stick with us because they violate the audience's trust in the narrative's logic. An earned horror death happens when a character does everything correctly, and the threat is still too overwhelming. An unforced error is preventable. When filmmakers rely on characters forgetting how doors open, how keys work, or how to use a basic tool to advance the plot, the immersive spell of the movie shatters. Frustration replaces the horror. The ultimate survival tool in any horror scenario is the 2-second pause used to evaluate surroundings before making a move.